You ever seen somebody beautiful and you knew that there was something that was way more than that beauty? Because they're an entrepreneur. They're a mother of 3. Woo! They're an actor. Woo! And she's teaching her own etiquette classes. So you know what? I have nothing but love and respect for this beautiful, beautiful entrepreneur and young black woman. So y'all give it up one time for Tara Wallace!
Who run the world's girls?
Girls.
Who run the world's girls?
And women.
And women.
Women.
Yes.
Hey, what are women in the house? Let me hear you make some noise.
Woo! Listen, you guys got to shout out to your glam team, Leanne.
Leanne is amazing.
Melanie,
Melena. Yep.
Melena, who knew?
Melanie.
You guys are running a full.
Janae. Yeah.
This is an amazing, amazing, amazing process. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And you didn't tell me. I had to find out on my own.
About what?
You got a whole glam team.
See,
here.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about Leanne.
Okay.
All right? Leanne just started how to socialize with people.
Okay.
And be their friends and welcome them in. I gotta hear about it after I get off the stage. Yo, so she came in and she gave everybody gift bags but me. And motherfucker, you supposed to go tell her, hey, I'm Leanne. If you need anything, holler at me, blah, blah, blah. I'm Jack.
Well, listen, I have to tell you, on Love and Hip Hop, we are fortunate to have some glam. But you have shows like The Real Housewives, Basketball Wives that don't have a glam team, and you have a glam team.
Hold on, time out. Hold on. You telling me on Basketball Wives?
Listen,
they got no. They have to hire their
there
own
are
glam
some
team.
huge shows that are on major networks that don't have glam, and you offer that right here. Do you know how important that is? Do you know what product you have?
Hear that? Woo! So, I mean, Love and Hip Hop. Mm-hmm. We know that
my day job.
Yeah, but you're also getting into acting. Mm-hmm. How does Love and Hip Hop affect your acting? Like when you go to auditions, or just any other job that you're trying to anything else that you're trying to do? Does it affect it in a negative way or in a positive way?
I was an actor before Love and Hip Hop, so I got my MFA in acting in 2003.
And you did
so I was just kind of around the streets doing New York Poets Cafe, just wherever I can get work. But then I had a baby, so then you have to your fun job becomes your night job to support your day job becomes your real job type of deal. So people always say, well, she's a great actor, and that's what Love and Hip Hop is, her acting. But the only thing I can attribute to what acting brought to Love and Hip Hop was my ability to be relaxed and listen to what people say and react honestly. That's the only thing I can say, because everything that happened to me on Love and Hip Hop had nothing to do with acting.
Yeah. And so was it hard for you to put your real life out there? Do you think you would have found out about Peter Gunz cheating if you weren't on Love and Hip Hop?
We date these guys in the industry, and I'm not looking at you because I'm pointing the finger, but we date these guys in the industry, and in our head, we're hoping for something that is just not realistic sometimes, I think.
And what's that?
Fidelity.
So are you saying that guys in the industry cannot be loyal?
Hold on.
I think, let me finish. I think that it is, it's something that we have to think in terms of being realistic and not what we hope. Because when we fall in love, we hope he's going to be all of these things. But the realization is women want to be attached to these men in any way possible.
Well, I mean, you got beautiful children
absolutely.
With Peter.
Absolutely.
And
I love Peter. He's a great guy.
I saw you with him last week.
I wish all the women didn't love him the way I do, but they do. So I've accepted that.
Do you think he's a womanizer a little bit? Not a womanizer, but he seduces and then...
I don't think he's. Well, you know what? I think that he just finds himself in these awkward situations
that he can't get himself out.
I like that. I
mean, women are beautiful. We're beautiful creatures. So I wouldn't want to be a man having to battle it. So thank God it's him and not me.
Kathy, come on, man. Kathy, you gotta understand that.
A little bit.
We not trying, man. But when you got all these things out here, What is you supposed to do? You want to do something to everybody. Like, what you supposed to do when she says, I like you, and I like you, and I like you too?
Oh, God.
What you supposed to do?
With that being said, we all get older and we want to grow old with a purpose and have a
And
purpose
she said,
in
I
life.
like you,
But
and
Tara,
I like you. Her voice get deeper. And I like you too. It just, it's the same shit.
It's a lot of pressure, right?
It's a lot of pressure.
But you know what? You're beautiful, you're smart, and I'm sure any guy would be like privileged to be with you. What does Tara look for in a guy though?
What do I
Like,
look for in a
yeah.
guy? I know I'm like short in stature, 5'2", but I have a big personality, and I know that I look for a manly man, someone that's gonna
Takes control.
And I learned this for myself through my father. He, and.
Your daddy was like 6'5".
My dad was he was tall, but he said something like, you can't respect a guy that's a pushover, so you have to find a middle ground, and that is a man that's able to accept my personality and accept the role that black women have had to take as being the head of the household, as being the head of a lot of things, and take that to another level. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we've had to take control so much that when it's time for us to sit down and relax, we don't really know how to do that, because all I know is taking control. I watched my mother do it. Now I have to do it because this guy's slacking and I got his baby. So all we know is being in control and managing all of these things. So all of those things, managing all those things doesn't come with, well, your clothes are over there. It's like, I washed the motherfucking clothes, they're over there. Shit. Like, I washed them. What else do I have to do? You know what I mean? So unfortunately, that doesn't come with the sweetest tone. And when a woman doesn't have a child, she can say, well, baby, your clothes are over there. So unfortunately, as black women, we have this stigma as something that's just really not true. Like, we just need somebody to come up and match up and step up to where we are, and then we can relax and say, I don't have to do all of this, and I can chill out a little bit. But until that happens, we have to be who we are. A women of color, I don't want to just say black women, but any woman of color who identifies herself not as a black woman, but a Spanish woman and a woman of color of any African descent, that woman.
That makes sense to me.
Right.
I fuck with that.
Woo!
Let's take it to the Jackie's Angels. Come on, Celia, let's do it. Celia, you got a question? Come on up.
How are you? I'm Celia Simone. So my question to you is, we kind of touched on your acting really briefly, right? So what can we expect going forward? Can we see you in some major motion pictures, some pilots aside from Love and Hip Hop? What can we expect from Tara?
I want to be completely honest with that question, because people think because you're on reality TV, you're immediately all of these doors open. You still have to prove yourself. You still have to show yourself, like, this is what I was doing before now, and that's why I'm worthy of getting this role. The only thing that I can say now is I'm willing to accept my no with more boldness. It's like, I know you're busy, but give me 5 minutes. If you don't like it, then kick me out of your office. But give me the 5 minutes. You're not that busy. So I think that's where I am now. So I'm auditioning like any other woman auditioning in this room, trying to get a major part. I'm no different from the other.
Well, let me ask you this: do you feel like you've gotten a little bit more of an edge by being Tara when you go on these auditions? You just gotta land it and whatnot, and sometimes maybe you've been a little bit too egotistical, and it stopped you from getting a part.
Well, you know what?
Because I'm Tara.
I will say is that when you come out of grad school and you come out of trade school, wherever you are, it's can you please, and then you get to a point where you don't please. It's like, give me 5 minutes of your time. You're not that busy. We all have the same amount of hours. Beyonce has the same amount of hours, and she creates a lot. You have 5 minutes to say yes or no to me. And give me the 5 minutes to say yes or no. So I demand my 5 minutes to say yes or no.
Yeah. Woo! Demand that time.
Boom.
Don't take no for an answer.
Let's get it. Come on.
Hi, Tara.
Hi.
I'm Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn.
Okay. I'm sorry. So every time you take Peter back, like you use the justification that it's for the kids, I want to know, do you honestly feel that way, or are you just saying it because you feel like that's the best way to go?
Well, technically, I don't own For the Kids. Just Hilarious owns that because she made that up. I just went with it because it was funny. And I never took Peter back because Peter never left. And that was always the issue that people never knew.
He ain't never leave. He ain't never leave. Woo! That was like, just to,
That's how y'all do it.
That's exactly how we do it, John. We just throw it in there. Just put it right there, real quick.
I really don't own that. Just Hilarious owns that.
Hi, Tyra. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm Steph.
Hi, Steph. You're so beautiful.
Thank you. You are too.
Thank you.
So who is Tara outside of being Peter Gunz's child's mother? Children's mother.
You know what? Peter has a lot of mothers, so I guess we could all be in a room and identify ourselves as Peter Gunz's mothers. But one's a lawyer, one's the president of the urban league, one's a musician, one's So I never define myself as being the mother of Peter Gunz's children. It's just a man that I fell in love with. That's it. I was always my own person. People have known me for a long time and never knew I dated Peter, because of the very fact that they just knew I was dating a guy. I never defined myself by that. So I'm many things. Actually, I helped define him, actually. You should ask him how many lyrics I wrote.
Wow.
Well, you got answers.
Yeah, she's good.
Hi, Tara.
Hey.
I'm Chi.
Hey, Chi. You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
You have 3 children, and you look phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
And outside of your busy schedule, how do you find time to work out? And you just look beautiful.
Thank you. Well, I have to be honest. I get tired like everybody else. I get fucking tired of working out, man. I get tired. I get tired of somebody saying one more rep. Sometimes I want to punch the trainer. So I have to be honest. Sometimes I just I'm tired of this shit. I got to stop and just eat a burger. I want to go to Popeyes. So I always stay true to myself, and then I give myself what I want. And right now I've been craving green juices and beet juice.
Yeah, we
so
were
I
just
did
talking about
that. I've been craving it. Yeah.
Sometimes
I've been craving the good shit, so I allow myself to have the good shit.
Wow.
But sometimes I crave Popeyes.
do you give yourself like a cheat day? Do you have like a cheat day, and then you're healthy all week, and then Sunday you binge?
Well, I have to say I'm pretty bad in that respect, because I was always really, really skinny. Even back to high school, people were like, we would vote for you for homecoming queen, but it's just that you're so skinny.
Oh, what kind? What?
So with that being said, I always assumed that I would be skinny, and then these babies come, and you're like, well, what happened to my stomach? It didn't go back straight. It does like a little curve,
I call it the fupa. It's
I have a fupa. I embrace it. I show it. I love it. It's there. No matter how much flat tummy tea you drink,
it don't work.
Your fupa will still remain. You have to work out. So your body is a work in progress.
Did you watch what you ate while you were pregnant?
No, I just eat whatever I want when I'm pregnant.
Okay.
I mean, it's stressful enough being pregnant, so I got to eat.
When you pregnant,
I got to eat. Yeah.
Well, you look phenomenal. Thank you.
It's like the movie Ray. We got to eat too.
Al, let's do it.
Hi, Tyra.
Hi.
I'm Gabrielle. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, we know that you were teaching the etiquette classes. Are you still teaching them?
So etiquette classes, people always confuse that with management, but etiquette classes was just trying to help artists explain themselves in the best way possible. I wanted to take things back to the Motown days, where artists, no matter what they did in their nightlife, they were able to articulate their art. Because no matter if you are a rapper, if you are a model, if you are a singer, it is an art form, and you have to be able to articulate that in the best way possible so that we all understand and there's no miscommunication. So that's what the etiquette classes was about, just helping artists communicate themselves as an individual, how they relate to that art, and not just how some people get up and you see the artist and it's like, I don't want to see that. I want to hear you explain yourself, help us relate to you. Why is this art important to where we are in 2018?
Oh. Well, would you be willing to work with the Jackie's Angels on some etiquette classes with us?
I would be willing, yes.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Princess.
Hi, Princess.
So I know you
My
have a
last
wig
dance.
line out, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So people confuse it. So Wild Ebony is a brand that I'm an ambassador for. So the importance of Wild Ebony is, we're under this pressure, this hair pressure to spend. If you don't have $1,000, if your baby daddy can't come up with $1,000 and you can't get your hair done the way you want it to get done, and I think that is just. I think that's a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? I feel like the brands that I endorse, it is important for the everyday woman, the working woman who's on a budget, who has children, who's making $600 a week, who's making $500 a week, to be able to afford the products that I endorse. And she can vouch for them because I actually wear them. So while Ebony is an affordable wig line for women who can afford to purchase it and look their best and be ready for Friday night, Saturday night at the club, to be ready for Monday night in the Monday during the day in the workplace. And I want to be able to offer those things, not just Wild Ebony, but there are a lot of brands that I try to stand behind that the everyday woman can afford. Because I mean, in our actuality, once you hit TV, there are a lot of brands that that send you things. And in all actuality, it's just not something that's affordable for every woman. You know, in all actuality, on a non-union TV budget, is not affordable for me either. So I want to make sure that everything I'm endorsing, any woman can say, you know what, I can afford that, and I can look just as good. And you know.
Thank you. How important is women empowerment to you? Because I get that vibe from you. Like when we were talking, you were empowering me to do a lot of great things, and I appreciate that. So tell us about that. Like, how do you, like, when women come up to you, what's some advice that you have for them on becoming an entrepreneur, on becoming an independent, you know, woman, like just an independent woman in general?
I would say just because, you know, we have these great ideas, right? We have all of these different things we want to do. It is so important to make these little baby steps. You're not going to make these huge... In your career, you're just not going to make the jumps you want to make. There are a lot of baby steps. So whether it's you becoming a doctor, how many years of med school do you have to go through before you become a doctor? If it's a lawyer, how many years of law school, and how many, you know, sitting in the back of an office making little to nothing do you have to make before you are able to partner in a law firm? So it's like, it's really important to stay focused, make the baby steps that it takes to lead you to that brand, and be realistic in your expectation. Be extremely realistic in your expectation.
I feel okay, and so like being on Love and Hip Hop, it wasn't the most woman empowerment scenes. Like, how do you get any backlash from that, from like those scenes? No, you probably don't, but
well, you know, I get a lot of backlash. I get a lot of backlash because people see, you know, we relate to a situation how we see it and where we are in our life. So I get a lot of backlash because of Peter. But at the end of the day, I own it. He was a man I love, and I don't have to explain it. And when I'm done, I'm done.
She made sure she blamed it on Peter.
You know, well,
it's Peter's fault.
You did blame it on him. You did blame it on him.
Listen,
what I'm saying is I blame it on Peter for his greed and not having the loyalty I expected him to have. But what I will say,
I don't understand when you say loyalty when he's always fucking with you.
But who says he's fucking with me?
I just saw y'all together last week.
That don't mean they together.
Listen, we have 3 children. That
means he got to fuck with you.
No,
so you got that built-in loyalty.
No.
Y'all got that built-in loyalty.
At the end of the day, right? And I hate to say this phrase that's not mine, but for the kids, it is important that 2 parents get along, and we have to have a smooth sailing ship for us to get along and for our kids to be healthy. It's not just about me liking Peter. We have 3 kids that have to be raised emotionally healthy. And I hear women say that all the time. Well, my mother did it. Well, you kind of fucked up because you didn't have your father. I don't care how you write it. I don't really care how you say that. If you don't have your father, you're kind of fucked up. I always had my father. So it was never about, I have low self-esteem, I can't get over Peter. It's like, you know what, I chose your ass. And how dare you do this when I chose you? You know, I own it. You know, I loved him, and I let go when I was ready. But at the end of the day, we have 3 children. And unfortunately, it's greater than he and I. It is for, these children did not ask to be here. Their emotional stability is what is most important. And they don't deserve to be a byproduct of our fucked up behavior.
Will you do Love and Hip Hop again? Will you go back? Will you do Love and Hip Hop again?
I will do Love and Hip Hop again because I feel like my story is very important. A lot of women, they don't want to face. A lot of women don't like me because they don't want to have to face my story. But at the end of the day, it's a very real story. And no matter what, how much you love someone, what they do to you, it is possible to move on, raise your children, and still be successful. And that's all I want to.
Shout outs to that. Thank you.
My name is Joanna. How are you?
Joanna, I'm well. How are you?
Besides Peter being your favorite artist, who's your favorite artist now?
Hip hop.
Who said Peter was my favorite artist? Corey Gunz is my favorite artist.
Corey Gunz?
Corey Gunz?
Nice.
Corey Gunz is my favorite
in the family.
Yeah. You know, I respect a lot of hip hop, so I don't really have a favorite. You know, anybody who knows me knows I'm a diehard Prince fan.
Growing up, yeah, Prince.
Even now.
Did you ever see Prince live?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
About 4 times.
I saw him 4 times too.
Yeah, Prince is awesome.
Yes.
That's the only reason I went on a second date with Peter, even, because he was a Prince fan.
Because he was going to Prince.
Because I thought he was kind of funny looking. I was like, this guy's really weird. I don't know about this.
Word.
But he said he liked Prince. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go out.
Yeah. That trumps everything. I wasn't gonna fuck with this nigga, but since you got Prince tickets,
yeah, absolutely. I'll do it again.
Let's do it.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, beautiful.
My name is Cher.
Hi, Cher.
So I wanted to know, I have 2 questions for you. How hard is it to balance your full-time career and your children? And my second question, do you believe that education is key? And do you need your education to fall back on in his career?
Let's start with the education part first. I think education is definitely key. Even though, I have 3 sons and they're all in different levels of education. My second son, he's bored. He does so much, he's bored. But my oldest son, he struggles sometimes. But I tell him, I stick with this and I stay on to you because one day it's going to click and everything's going to make sense. Even if you're not going to be a mathematician, even if you're not going to be a scientist, one day all of these things will click and your ability to stick with it will show who you are even in your real life.
The process, right?
Absolutely. So, and what was the first question?
How challenging is it to balance your 3 boys and your career?
It's a lot. It's a lot. It takes a lot. It's a lot. It takes a lot of effort. Some days I definitely want to give up. Some days, I call Peter and I'm just like, you motherfucker.
Why do I know you gotta do that?
It's a lot. It's a lot. Women, we're emotional. And that's why I'm telling you, I really feel like every woman in her 40s, I'm 41, they're all single because we're at a stage in our life. Speaking of my favorite rapper, as I just said, he just walked through the door. Shout out to my favorite rapper.
Corey Gunz in the building.
I call him Coco.
In the eyes of a ghetto child, my favorite rapper.
She said you were her favorite rapper. Oh, here you go. Sit in my chair. Sit in my chair.
You ain't even give him a
I'm
chance
not even
to sit
prepared.
down.
I came in, I'm scruffy. Hey, Mom.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, you call
You
her
all right?
mom? Yeah. You call her mom?
I got the right shit.
Yeah, true. Yo, she says you're her favorite rapper. You have no problem, making a correlation, saying, hey, mom. And sometimes I got a stepdad. But I don't call him, hey, dad, what you got that I ain't got?
A lot.
I'm asking you, what does she have?
That your
What do you mean?
What does she have? What makes you cool with, yo, this ain't my real mama?
But this is your mom, right? The bond?
She's a beautiful person. She's a motherly figure. She's my brother's mother, which automatically makes that.
Your mother.
Gives me insight. It's people.
she-
I got friends that I'd be like, hey, Ma, but it's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
New York
Like,
shit.
yeah, but at the same time, it's family. So, in our situation, it's hey, Ma.
I can dig it.
I love her like that, so that's why I say that.
Shout out to that.
And it ain't never felt funny. You remember the first time? You remember the first time you ever called your
I
mom?
remember
No, I have a joke. One day, one of his friends cursed in front of me. He's like, yo, don't curse in front of my moms like that.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Nah, that's that.
When did she come into your life? How old were you? Do you remember?
I remember.
There you go. Take it.
I know for a fact it was. I was young. I was what? Like
You were like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
believe it or not, I was in the computer lab writing a paper. Peter came upstairs to help me write a paper. Believe it or not. I just remember I wrote a sentence. And he was like, yo, what school did you go to? This is a run-on.
I remember, I always had a habit with. She broke me out of that habit. I would always crack my knuckles a lot. I don't know if you remember one day you told me in the car, you looked behind and you was like, stop doing that. It's not good for you. So it'd be little things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Cute, yeah.
Stop doing that. Stop doing that. But yeah, I love her. Like, come on, what you talking about? Of course I'm gonna say that.
Man, I love my stepdaddy, man. But I was like, hey, man, stop trying to make me call you my dad.
You don't want to call
Nah, to each his own.
Still here. I know my dad is still.
I have one more question. Do you feel like Love and Hip Hop made you seem like something you're not, or do you feel like they told your storyline as it was?
We always have to keep in mind that reality TV is show business. It's just the new show business. And so whatever your story is, there's going to be a storyboard to whatever you think your story is and whatever it is going to be best for TV to show. So I think that people have to stop allowing reality TV to raise their kids because, again, it's still show business. I get a check for doing Love and Hip Hop, and I get a check for the way the storyline doesn't go because it's show business. And I think that we always have to keep that in mind, that no matter what you see, I didn't wake up with lashes. There was a makeup artist 2 hours earlier to put those lashes on while I'm waking up in the bed.
Looking gorgeous. Like, yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, your makeup looks phenomenal.
Oh, well,
it really
On
does.
your show,
Thank you.
this nigga, he was getting out of bubble bath and whatnot. And I'm like, niggas usually be filming you out of bubble bath, bro? And it was big ass bubbles too.
Yo.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, this guy.
You let them do that?
It was no champagne.
Nah,
I
yeah.
was gonna take the bath. And
Nah.
how did they know the water was still gonna be hot? Like how did they?
Show business.
They set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, well, shit, we never took bubble baths in a while now.
Come on, man.
We never did.
You know how it
Y'all got to
goes.
speak to the producer and get a tub in there.
We was all like, hey man, look, bro, my body ain't like that. I don't want to put.
You in the gym, I see. I
you
pay
see
attention.
it.
Yeah, you in the gym.
It's Sex Symbol Monday.
Don't say it. I know. I pay attention.
Sex Symbol Mondays.
Man Crush Monday.
No, it's Sex Symbol Mondays now.
You in the gym.
I mean, I don't have a man crush, so it can't be man crush Mondays.
Yeah, come on, man. Hey, is there anything that y'all want to say to Party and Bullshit before we get up out here?
Listen, I had so much fun here. It's imperative that on Monday we party. We also have bullshit to make, this stigma on, damn, it's Monday, I gotta go to work. It's not like that here. I appreciate that.
So you saying that you're gonna come here even when you're not booked here? You gonna come chill with
Come
us?
and hang out
in
at
my
SO.
defense, I was here last week and I wasn't booked here. I had to
That's
show
right.
up
She was
here
here.
to
We
get
were
booked.
eating, drinking. We was having a good time last
That's why I
weekend.
love her. See? You see what I'm saying?
Yo, he was here a couple weeks ago, right?
You see?
You got a point, man.
We show love, man. It's love.
Pictures, man.
It's love.
Thank you, Tara. Thank you for coming.
It's love.
Hey.